So today we're going to give you an update of the community garden. So we're headed over there now and kind of show you the progress. I've been uploading photos and stuff on Instagram and Facebook if you've been keeping along with that, but it's different to see it in video and see everything that's going on and just seeing pictures here and there. So yeah, hope you enjoy this video. We'll get over there and I'll pick it up from there. All right, we are here. It is hot today. So before I came up here, I bought some plants and I actually shipped them up here so I wouldn't have to deal with them on a plane and things like that. And so I bought some blueberries. Hold on. And so there they are. They're all doing fine. There's actually one ready right there. Yeah, so we have 8. We're gonna give it a kind of a test run. There's a tiny one. These don't grow very big, but we'll see what he thinks. Okay. He said it's good. It was a small one, but it was ready. So, anyways, these are a type of blueberries that do well in hot climates. Obviously, if you don't know, this is a tropical climate where we are. So a lot of plants that need a certain amount of like chill days or whatever. I can't remember the actual term for it, but days that need a certain amount of weather below a certain temperature, they don't obviously do well here because it doesn't get cold here. And so anyways, we got a type that does well in the warm weather. And so I also sent strawberry plants. So there's the strawberries. I think we have 20 or so of those somewhere. And we kind of get them right, but then we'll just kind of transplant them somewhere else after. They were shipped in a box, and so I was kind of scared they were going to be dead or dying when they got here. But it was kind of she sold them to us for like, I think like what, 10 cents a plant or something like that. So it wasn't a huge risk, but we're gonna try it out. But they're here. They got here. There's one that got destroyed by something, but it's coming back actually. And then yeah, so there's those. And if that goes well, we can plant a lot more of those as well. Here we have the vertical garden towers. There's this is some green onion coming out of there. Obviously it goes all the way down. Green onion here and that one as well. There's some cilantro was planted in this. So those are not, those are germinating. Those are germinating now. So this is purple lettuce. And this is all just planted, just like yesterday, I believe. And nothing's in here yet, but on these last ones. So this was a project, if you watched our videos, you've seen that this is a project we did a long time ago, and it's actually doing well. They're holding up well. So that's something we'll do more of in the future, is these vertical, I don't know what you call it, tower gardens, vertical gardens, or whatever. All right, so we got that over there. And at the end, I'll come back and show you all this stuff. So this is, Carlos is obviously proud of his work here. It's the hole he dug. I'm looking at the camera right now. It doesn't really do it justice. So it's like, what, like 6.5 feet deep, something like that. And yeah, so this is where we are going to try our hand essentially at fish farming. And if it goes well, we have a lot of space. We can do more, and we'll kind of organize it, you know, around this, and so that it'll be productive. But we're not far away, but we're not close to putting fish in yet. We need to top this off with put a roof or something over it. We also need to build a wall up around it or something, because in the rainy season, when all this can potentially flood out, the trees will be fine, which is why we have to use these raised garden beds. And those will be fun. It doesn't get that deep. But and then we have the mounds over there. Anything we plant in the ground, back here specifically in our property, we plant it in mounds or in there for the most part. And so we have to build it up, because if not, when it floods, then the fish will just be all over the yard, and there'll be birds eating them and stuff like that. And so yeah. So it's a process, but the hardest work obviously has been digging this hole, and Carlos knocked it out, honestly, relatively quick, all things considered. So that's coming along. I uploaded some pictures about that as well a while back, and but now you kind of see it, and you can hopefully understand. We got to build a filter, a wall. We also have to put more cement and then like let it cure and all that stuff. It's boring stuff. But yeah, then we have to order the fish from another place, and they'll send them by bus, and we hope they all arrive alive. But they're extremely cheap, so we'll see. So after that, we have different trees. These are the different trees that we've been kind of growing out. They're in just bottles, and we want to really give those away to people and plant them just around our neighborhood. Again, there are some trees around the neighborhood, but this is actually the back side. On the other side, it looks like there's a bunch, but these are just pieces of property where weeds have turned into trees. But on the over there's not a lot of trees, and it would be nice if our neighborhood was essentially full of trees. Again, I've said this in the past, but it helps with the dust, helps with the flooding, helps with the air, obviously, but it also helps with the heat. It makes a major difference in the heat if you're able to populate an area with trees. So yeah, anyway, so that's one of the goals we have there, and we'll talk more in detail about that later. But that's we have all these trees going around here. We also have another one of the ideas is, again, I've talked about this in the past. Everything I've pretty much talked about in the past, but if you're seeing this for the first time, then it's worth saying again. There's different things we want to do to be able to kind of contribute, for the project to be able to contribute to itself. So some of these trees will be up for sale, and we want to sell them, and obviously that money that goes into that will go straight back into the project. So that's the idea behind that. Back here we have the palm trees. They are growing, and to me it feels like slowly but surely, but it's not really that slow. They're trees, and they had a rough rainy season. They sat in the water for a long time, which is fine when they're first up. If you sit a coconut in water, then this will eventually pop out. But when the plant is out of the coconut, it's not the best idea for it to always sit in water. But they don't look great, I understand that, but they are growing and they'll be fine. So we have a bunch of palm trees, and they'll grow up and essentially create a canopy right here, because the palm branches will overlap quite a bit, because that's why we planted them like this, close together, because we want it to be like that. And so yeah, that's that. Here we have pineapples, papaya tree. Those grow straight up and produce papaya fairly quickly. I think in 9 months from seed to starting to produce your first papaya. And then they continue to grow up, but yeah, they produce pretty quick. More pineapple here. So pineapple, papaya, pineapple. Then we have sugar cane there. And I don't know if you can see, there's a passion fruit growing along there, along the fence. Those are passion fruit. We have several of those. They grow on vines. I know most people, at least where I'm from in the States, don't have those. They're more tropical. So yeah, so sugar cane along there. I don't know if I said that already. And then more trees down there. Guava. And we still have a lot of space over there. There's some, you can see it along the fence line over there. There's a banana plant, and there's a small one there. When the heat, it kind of goes down, but it'll pop up, they'll be fine. And those actually kind of self-reproduce, so they send out other plants and they grow up that way. So another thing that was built up here is we built up the land right here, just in an effort. So, okay, again, if you follow closely, you could follow along and never have seen this, but closely, this was not a road. I mean, it was a road, but it wasn't cleared out. About once a year, they come back and they clear this out. And every year you kind of think like, oh, this is going to be the year they keep it. And it typically isn't. We'll see this year. Maybe after 50 years, this will be the year they keep it up. But I highly doubt it. But the idea is that these are supposed to be canals for water to avoid the flooding. So it's been cut out and kind of fixed. But we also put this barrier here to try to help. It's up a little bit. I'll show you again. But we put this barrier here. You can't tell on video how far up it is, but it's about 2 feet up. And so to kind of help that, but also prevent some of the flooding coming into here from there. And it comes from other sides, and we'll have to deal with that. But an effort. So we'll see how that works out come rainy season, which is December on to March, into March pretty much. And but yeah, so that's the idea there. This is where, if you watched our yucca videos, and this is where it was. We'll let that sit for a while, and we'll turn the dirt over, let it sit for a while, and we'll use that for planting somewhere else. So we started a project of trying to put because we have that thing, but there's several things to remember. Is one, obviously we're in a tropical climate, which is fine for those plants. But another thing is we are closer to the equator than a lot of places are. So the rules aren't always the rules. Like, it's not as black and white as, sometimes people try to make it. So some plants, even though it says direct sunlight, apparently it doesn't mean direct sunlight closer. We're not on the equator, but closer to the equator, and we just get it, the sun it beats you up here. And so we want to put these out, but they're producing. They're not producing as many as and as big as the ones we planted under the thing. But again, that's how you learn. And that's a big part of the idea is, yes, we want to give food away, but we want to get to a place where we can really kind of dominate the ideas and techniques for our area so we can teach other people specifically what to do and how to make things grow instead of, you know, if you want to say, hey, you just do this, that's fine. But again, so a lot of these people will need to eat this food. And so, you know, I think for us, gardening is a hobby and it's nice to be able to produce our own fruits and vegetables, but we don't technically need to eat the food from our garden. We can buy it from the store. There's a lot of people here that don't eat vegetables and won't eat vegetables. They won't buy them. They don't have the money for that. And some people, maybe they have the money for it, but they don't have the practice of doing that. But for the people that would need to eat these, you really can't afford to wait 90 days and then you're eating a bell pepper this big, you know? And so that's, again, part of the projects and experiment, why we experiment so much and all that type of stuff. So, but these are done okay. We'll see how they grow. The plants look pretty healthy, so we'll see. We'll see. Also, there's some cabbages here that we're doing the same thing with, and it's doing fine. It's growing fine. Again, tropical climate, and not just tropical climate, but also like Amazonic region. So there's all kinds of bugs and stuff like that nibble on them. So that's par for the course here. Some of those are kind of eating up a little bit on the bottom back over there, but yeah, this is part of it. This is a certain type of pepper. It's a curse word, the name is, so obviously I'm not going to translate that on here. This is a family channel. But yeah, so producing those as well. We have more cabbage here. So doing that, this side is going to be planted with something else. More bell peppers here. Remember I was saying we're experimenting over there. But those, you can see the difference in the plants here and the plants there. Again, those are fine, and they'll be, well, the little one is not. It's already turning colors, but it's a big difference though of just this. It's a semi-shade, right? So we're blocking out, I think it's like 60% of the sun because it's strong here. So here, tomatoes, a bunch of tomato plants, which they're flowering already. Some of these, well, not already, they're flowering. Yeah, so here we have sweet potatoes. We produced some of those. It didn't go too well. I think I have a video. If I can find it, I'll put it over top of this. But the soil was too compact, and we kind of knew that, but we went ahead with it anyway to kind of see. We're pretty sure what was going to happen, but we wanted to see and wanted to know. But we have more growing. Obviously, we don't just put all of our eggs in one basket, so to speak. And so this is cucumber. So you can see when they're flowering. They're small, obviously, so far, but they'll take off here. And yeah. So we have jalapenos here. So those are just taking off. Actually, one is flowering right there already. I don't know if you can see the little white flower there. So these are second generation jalapeno plants from the ones from last year, that those are finally kind of dying down, but took those out, took some of the seeds, and planted new ones. Here's our ghost pepper project. And so these, I mean, they're pretty tall. You probably can't tell from the video. We had a problem with leaf cutter ants. You can see down in there, they're bare, which that's an ongoing battle. You can see Carlos is, I don't know, he's probably 5'8" or something like that. So the plants are they're not tiny by any means. Produced a ton of ghost peppers. There's some on the end that are still producing. So, you know, obviously of everything that we plant and harvest, we take seeds out and produce more. And so there's the babies that have germinated, don't need to be transplanted now. They have enough leaves and stuff like that. Here's more sweet potato and more sweet potato over there. These are potatoes. So we're growing a bunch of potatoes in here. And again, this was one of the things where we grew forward, where the soil was tough. So we'll see how that goes. These are beans. So again, we'll see. But really, the main reason we planted these is to better the soil, to be honest with you. So like, there's different types of things that return something to the soil that takes, I'm not going to get into all this, but anyways, yeah, that's the idea. And obviously somebody would enjoy some beans. So we planted them all close together and kind of filled it up. So that's the idea here. More tomatoes there and this one. And then we're using that one actually right now to mix and develop better soil. We have several big challenges here, just where we live specifically. One is leaf cutter ants. They're just, you know, you have other things, little aphids and stuff like that, but really leaf cutter ants are just a fatal issue that we're always struggling with. The second toughest issue is just building soil. That there's a whole long story in history, which is very interesting, and science behind it, but I'm not going to bore you with it. But the reason that, like in jungles and stuff like that, you would think all the soil in this part of the world is fertile, like extremely fertile, and it's not necessarily true. A long time ago, they established some technique where they used charcoal, and like it was a whole thing. Anyways, made the fertile soil. So if you dig down, not exactly where we are right now, but just in general in the area and the whole Amazonic region or whatever, the top cap is very fertile soil. This technique that we still don't even know how they did it, but they did it, and that's what, based on that, is where jungles grow up. And then obviously the trees being there, and it makes it better and better and better over years. But naturally, the soil in places like this that's not jungle, but we're still in the region, is a tough soil to deal with. So the battle is always making our own soil. And again, we don't have a local Home Depot or Lowe's or, you know, Walmart, whatever, or even Amazon to, well, we can buy some bags of dirt. And even if so, I mean, we got a lot going on here. That would be very expensive. And even if we could, we would not do that, because everybody that we want to eventually teach gardening to, for the reasons that we want to teach gardening to them, is the same reason that they wouldn't be able to have access to it. You know, they don't have a lot of income to be able to be purchasing soil and stuff. So we are learning and succeeding of producing our own soil, and it's a lot more work. It is a lot more work than probably whatever you use to garden. But again, that's the idea, is not to just say, hey, look at this great stuff. We want it to be something that everybody can do, and we can teach other people to do. So yeah. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to show you. We bought some trees a while back. I again posted a picture on Instagram, and they came in. So there's 1, 2, 3. Those 3 are doing fine. That one is not, but that is to be expected. 1, when they're set in a box. 2, it's just, you know, it's part of the game. You're gonna have losses, but the good thing is 3 out of 4 is not bad at all for us. I can't remember which one is which. I'm sorry, but yeah. So we have a lot of stuff growing right now. And actually a lot of stuff that's been planted. I mean, I'm not going to show you all that because it's just dirt. You can't see anything. But so yeah, I mean, this project is going pretty much how I expected it to go up until this point. Obviously, we are not really anywhere close to what we want this project to actually look like going forward. This is the beginning of the project. This is not the goal at all. These are steps towards the goal. Again, the goal is to, again, we're going to produce a ton of different things and a variety of things all over the garden, fruits and vegetables. We need to plant some flowers out here to attract bees and all that for pollination, et cetera, but we want to be able to produce food to give the people and help people in need, emergency. But really, more than that, we want this to be an outreach branch of the church that we can connect with people in the community, teach them to produce food on their own. They can feed their families and, you know, whatever, whoever they need to feed or help, and be able to help one another. But ultimately, an evangelistic branch of our church to be able to connect with people in the neighborhood, and, you know, instead of like weird and awkward encounters all the time, or just ignoring people in general around them. And so, you know, Carlos will show up to the door every once in a while to somebody that, you know that's in need in the neighborhood, in the area, with a bag of whatever. If it's one vegetable, a bag of potatoes, or sometimes it's a mixed bag of different things, or yucca or whatever. And, you know, here you go. Who's this from? It's from Iglesia El Jide. Why? You know, we just wanted to bless you. We care about our community, and we want, you know, that's what we want to be, and that's what we want to use this as a tool to connect with people, a tool to teach people, to be able to be self-sustainable and produce their own fruits and vegetables. Again, things that they probably are not in the average person's diet in our neighborhood and area. And so, yeah. And with that, there is 50 million directions we could go of things we could do at the same time. We don't have to pick one, honestly, but I'm not going to bore you with all that just now. But that's where we are now. I just wanted to give you an update of the garden project. And I know there's several people that are really interested in the fish farm thing. So I'll keep you updated on that as well as we go. Like I said, it'll be some time. It's not going to be like, oh, tomorrow we're going to throw water in it. And it's going to be, again, filtration. There's a bunch of things that we have to think of and do and accomplish before we're actually putting fish in. It'll be a while. But I think that's it for this video. Try to talk fast so it's not that long, but this is a really big part of what we are doing right now, not just in terms of gardening, but in the larger scheme of things of what we want to accomplish and what we want to be to this community, this neighborhood, and what we want to represent and what we're about. And so it plays right into those ideals or ideas and yeah, functions. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. We appreciate all your love and support, and I think that's it. So yeah, till next time. All right, the bonus. So we just got Carlos some new boots to work in, and like he just started wearing them like yesterday. But parece que tienen hambre, ¿no? Sí. So he's sad. That happens sometimes because the boots the clothes in general come in these bags, and they sit in there, so they dry out and stuff. So whatever you get, sometimes you got to be prepared to fix it on your own. So he'll be fine.